So I chose to do my project on Saudi Arabia. The emergence of Saudi dynasty began in Central Arabia in 1744, an Arab sovereign state located in Western Asia, and below is the Saudi Arabia flag. So looking at the geography of Saudi Arabia is located in Southwest Asia. It is the largest country of Arabia and the fifth largest state in Asia and the second largest state in the Arab world. The population as of 2017 is an estimate around 33 million. Saudi Arabia is bordered by 7 countries and 3 bodies of water. It borders the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea, and by bordering these coastlines, it leads to great leverage on shipping, especially with crude oil. Looking at the culture of Saudi Arabia is of Arab and Islam. They are extremely religious, and 5 times each day, Muslims are called to prayer from the minarets of mosques, and Friday is the holiest day for Muslims. They are conservative, traditional, and family-oriented, and shaped by the Islamic heritage. Their historical role is an ancient trade center, and Saudi Arabia is the Middle East's largest economy. So some traditions of Saudi Arabia: they have Islamic teachings and Arab customs. The holy month of Ramadan, which occurs in the 9th month on the Islamic calendar, and this is when they fast from dawn to dusk. The country's national dance is the Al-Araba, and Saudi Arabia dishes consist of rice, lamb, chicken, yogurt, and dates, and that's a picture of a traditional meal, and most of their meals consist of lamb. Meeting people from Saudi Arabia, the greetings are usually lengthy. They take their time to learn about a person's family and health, and men especially are very friendly in getting to know strangers, and it is considered disrespectful to talk about a man's wife. So employment in Saudi Arabia, only 30 to 40% of the working age actually has jobs. There were no product-based commercial economy that existed until the discovery of oil, which really changed things in Saudi Arabia. And this picture below is just a bunch of men working. Socializing in Saudi Arabia. Social life is revolved around the home and around the family. They regularly visit family members, and this is typical with the elderly family members. And for women, this is a daily routine, but women are actually banned from driving motor vehicles, which makes transportation extremely difficult for them to get around to visit the family members. Socializing for men is a lot different than it is for the women. So traditionally, men take naps after work in the late afternoon, and then social life begins after Maghrib, which lasts from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So it begins after that, and then it lasts until after midnight. So all the men get together with people of the same occupation, age, and background, and they gossip and they smoke a shisha while they play ballot, which is a card game in Saudi Arabia, and they usually eat a meal right before they go home around midnight or a little bit after midnight. So family in Saudi Arabia is extremely important. They are very family oriented, and they actually prefer to do business and socialize with family members rather than people outside of the family. So now we're going to look at marriage in Saudi Arabia. Traditionally, families arrange the marriage with somebody in the tribe that they're in. Sons and daughters are very encouraged to marry cousins or other extended family members and relatives in order to extend their tribe. Sometimes they marry into another tribe to heal rifts. Marriage between cousins in Saudi Arabia is one of the highest rated in the world. Muslim women are forbidden to marry any non-Muslim man, but a Muslim man, if he marries a non-Muslim woman, she is to be converted into Islam. So now we're going to take a look at women's clothing. So by law, all women are required to wear an abaya and a scarf called a shaila. An abaya is a long black cloak made from silk material. Women usually wear a full face veil called a niqab. Women's clothing are decorated sometimes with tribal motifs, coins, sequins, and metallic thread. And traditionally, women usually are always in black and the men are usually in white. Now taking a look at the men's clothing, men and boys wear the traditional dress called a throbe, and during the hot weather they wear white throbes, and during the cool weather they wear wool throbes, which are usually of darker colors like brown. They often wear a bish over the throbe. A bish is a long white, or it could be brown or black cloak trimmed in gold, and this is made of wool or camel hair. And back in the early days, they would wear these when they would travel, and they would use it as a blanket in the nighttime. So looking at the men's headgear, it covers their head and protects it from the sun. The headgear is made of 3 parts: a kadaya, which is a small white cap, the kahuta, which is a large square made of cotton or silk, and it's usually white and red checkered, which in the picture below and the picture before this slide, you could see that it's usually red and white checkered almost all the time. And then the third piece is the igla or the agla, and it's a cord that is usually black and it's worn to keep the headdress together. Jewelry in Saudi Arabia is very important. It's very popular, and men present their wife with jewelry on special days or occasions, such as a wedding or birth of a child. The jewelry that you have really shows your social and economic status. Jewelry is usually silver or gold and sometimes has gems, colored turquoise, garnet, amber, coral, or sometimes pearls. And in the picture below, I tried to find an image that best describes this with all the colors, and it really gives the whole look. Some important things to remember are that they are extremely family-oriented in Saudi Arabia, and they do not like to socialize outside of the family, and that includes with marriages. They like to stay in the family and expand their tribe. Women are forbidden to drive, which I found very interesting because I didn't know that. We saw a look at a popular cuisine. They usually like to eat lamb, and art and music is very popular in Saudi Arabia, and this music that is playing in the background is some traditional Saudi Arabian music.